Hey, is this working? It says I'm live. Sorry, give me a second here. I'm trying to doing this for the first time, so bear with me if you're coming in. If you're watching this later and you're like, wait, what is he doing? Why is he just talking to nobody? Oh, here we go. Let's see. Hey, I am live. Hey, all right, sweet, cool. And yeah, I'm getting all these notifications that terms of service are being updated and blah 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 blah. I already know all that. December 10th, apparently, I already went in and marked all my videos as not for kids. I guess that was like the only option I had was to do that. Now, how do I see the chat? Let's see if I can do this. Welcome live chat. Remember to guard your privacy, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But I want to see it. Doesn't show me. And for some reason, my my Kindle, I thought my Kindle would let me do live chat, but it doesn't. Why doesn't it have that feature? Yeah, it doesn't give me that option. Yeah, let me see if I sign in. Maybe it'll let me do it. So how is everyone? Go ahead and answer. I already see thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. Let me try to get this situated, and we'll get started here. As soon as I can see what everyone's saying, I might have to just turn on my computer. Let's get that ready. And maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe I'll just turn the camera this way, and we'll just keep the computer on, and I can follow chat that way. So I'll just do a quick introduction here. If you've never been to my channel before, my name is Siike. Sometimes I go by Seek and Destroy. I mainly do Venom content, and that's kind of what this is. It's a test to see if I can do live streams from my phone. It does look like I can. So that's good news that I can actually do these now, because people have been asking about this for a while, especially when the Venom movie was coming out. They were like, hey, hello, Swordsman. I can see the chat now. Hello, Swordsman. Hello, Caballero V. How's it going? Good to see you guys. I was just watching your latest video. Oh, wow. Well, good luck, because it's like an hour long. So if you don't make it through, I completely understand. I was trying to figure out what to do with that video. What's up, CK Panhead? How's it going? I'm feeling much better. I'm still got, obviously you guys know my grandma passed away this weekend. So I'm still, we're still kind of going through that. My mom's we talked to her family about funeral arrangements and everything, and so we're still going through that kind of process. So I would say I'm obviously sad about that and bummed about that, but I'm really more concerned for my mom. Obviously, it was a bigger deal for her, because my memories of my grandparents are still rocky at best. I vaguely remember them, and that's just aftermath to the aneurysm rupture that I had in 2010. So there's a lot of stuff I still don't remember. And unfortunately, my grandparents are in that pocket. The only thing I know about them is what my mom told me about them. And they sounded like great people. They sounded like they had a big impact on my life. And the downside is I just don't remember it too well. So there's a little disconnect for me, but I do care about my mom, obviously, and she's having a tough time with it right now. So I'm trying to just be there for her mostly. But how are you guys? Like I don't want to bum anyone out on this stream. So please, hopefully you guys are doing well. Tell me how you're doing. Looks like the chat does pop up from time to time. So if you have any questions, anything you want to ask, let me know. I have a couple of topics here that we can talk about. I figured Venom Vlog Live, what we'll kind of do with this is focus on, some news that kind of gets out there that I feel like maybe isn't warranting a full video. And also we're running low on videos because I'm trying to get things wrapped up. No worries, Cabaret. Thank you, Cabaret. So I'm trying to get things wrapped up before episode 450. I have a job interview tomorrow to get a second job for Christmas, just so I can help out financially, not just myself, which I'm hurting financially as well, but also maybe be there to help my mom out if she needs money too. So especially with funeral stuff and all that stuff going on. So I'm going in for an interview tomorrow. So that means for sure in December, like I'm not going to be able to do any Venom vlogs at all, probably. So we're going to try to wrap up this season with episode 450. We're going to try to wrap that up before the end of this month of November. Excuse me. And then in December, I'll probably still throw up a couple videos, but it'll just be like things like Transformers and then Ghost Rider, try to catch up on those. So that way, when we start off the new year in January with Venom Vlog, I can just focus on Venom Vlog. That's kind of what I want to do because I have a lot of plans for next season of the show. But I do have some news topics. And then there was like a couple things that, like one thing that was like a rumor, which we kind of touched on a little bit at the end of a video recently. But I figured this will be a good place because I know a lot of you guys asked me about these rumors that pop up. And here's the thing is, like, there's a website called We Got This Covered, something like that. And I've been to that website a couple times and I never find anything they post useful at all. Mostly they say they have sources, but really it looks like they just pull things from Reddit or small YouTubers or small sites that don't get a lot of attention, and they pull it from them and kind of claim it as their ideas, or they heard it from their source, and it doesn't really look like they have a source. And I'm not going to come out and say they don't have sources. They might, but it just, when I track their stuff, I go, oh, that looks like a Reddit post, or that looks like this. So whenever I see news come from them, I typically don't want to cover it. I have a comment for your latest video. I just posted it yet, since I do that at the end of the video. Okay, yeah, sure. Well, if you have a comment you want to share it here, feel free to as well. But one of the things they posted recently, and I think they got this from like Dr. Movie News or someone else, or Reddit as well, where there was a rumor about J.K. Simmons possibly being in Morbius and kind of doing a cameo there as J. Jonah Jameson. I hope that's true. That would be great. And that would be a way to link all these movies together. But these are just rumors. And so I was like, I don't really want to make a video on that. But we did talk about that in another video briefly. So if you have any comments on that, or if you like that idea, or if you think it's plausible or whatever, or if you have anything to say about it, I feel like Venom Vlog Live could be a place where we do talk about rumors and kind of maybe even on some of them where, like, if I have my computer on in future episodes or have my Kindle here, we can track where that rumor maybe started and deduce if we want to believe it or not, or choose to believe it or not. So that would be something we do coming up. But anyway, I heard that rumor and I was like, that'd be cool. I like J.K. Simmons and I like him as J. Jonah Jameson, so I'm not against that idea, but I also don't know if this is true or not. It's just a rumor. So anyway, so Cheat Sheet, I saw that posted on cheatsheet.com. About the J. Jonah Jameson thing. There is something that we saw on Instagram from Tom Hardy. Hello there, Michael. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. And thank you guys for the 4 thumbs up. I appreciate that very, very much. I'm glad this is working. I'm more happy about that than anything. It would be great. I want Tom and Venom to be in the MCU. I know a lot of people do. And I'm not, see, it's like, I'm kind of back and forth. Guess who's back again? I'm kind of divided on that front, because all the characters I wanted to see or would have liked to see Venom interact with in the Marvel Universe, they're already kind of gone. Like Captain America, Iron Man, I guess Hulk's still around and Thor's still around, so maybe could still be some fun there. But some of those earlier characters, and I'm like, I wanted to see if Venom was going to come in. It's like putting in the X-Men now. It's like, well, Wolverine to me now isn't as big of a deal in the Marvel Universe, because I would have liked to seen him interact with like Black Widow and Winter Soldier. I guess Winter Soldier's still around, and Captain America and Iron Man. I would have liked to seen that dynamic, and Cyclops talking to Iron Man and Captain America, like 2 leaders of their respective teams and stuff. So without those characters, I'm kind of like, the MCU doesn't appeal to me that much now with as far as characters interacting. But I am looking forward and hope that the Fantastic Four and X-Men interact, because I'm actually a big fan of that as well. What are you doing on Sunday? Hey, Andrew, what's up? Sunday I am off, so I might, maybe nothing. What's going on Sunday? 6 now? All right, 6 now. I think I'm off on Sunday again. I surprisingly had 2 Sundays off in a row, which is very rare for me. But because I've been sick and because all the stuff that's been going on, I've used my last vacation days, 1 a week for like for like the past 2 weeks, and then the next 3 weeks. So I have like an extra day off every week to kind of like, recollect myself. And like I said, I'm going in for a job interview tomorrow at Hot Topic, and I'm hoping to get it because I just want something. I need another job. I need to make more money. Anyone here think Spider-Carnage will be an antagonist in Spider-Verse 2? I don't know, but I love Spider-Carnage, so I hope I hope we see that. I got invited to Christ on Infinite Earth's after show recording event. Let me call them to see if I can get you in. Oh, hey, thank you, Andrew. Everyone, by the way, if you're not following Andrew on here or Instagram and Twitter, he posts some really great stuff. He's very smart when it comes to visuals and camera work and stuff. And I love the kind of the stuff he's making. And he always beats himself up for not posting enough, but I think the stuff he does post is real quality stuff. And I look forward to the day where he does make a schedule and posts a lot more. He's really awesome. I think that depends on if Venom joins the Spider Team. I think that's right too. Not right now, at least. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, hit me up later. What's up? Yeah, we remember you. How's it going, Michael? How's it go? Yeah, Sona, Jessica. Yeah, many name changes. But this is my dad's account. Oh, that's okay. So do you still go by Sona? It's Sona the Wolf? Like you still go by that name, or Jessica? Like what? Because I don't want to call you Michael if that's your dad's name. And that's also my confirmation name for you Catholics out there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, let me know, Crisis, if I'm able to go on Sunday. Yeah, I could make that happen. I got two. Jessica's fine. Okay, Jessica it is. What is your favorite video game version of Venom? Um, hmm. Well, I really liked Web of Shadows. I thought that was really cool. Maybe I'm just because I'm old school, but I loved playing Venom because the first time you played as him was in Maximum Carnage, the video game. I think that was the first time you could play as Venom. I think, at least that was the first time I played as Venom in a game. So I really liked that. That was fun, just that ability to play as him. But I liked him in Web of Shadows. I thought that was a cool storyline. And I loved Ultimate Spider-Man. The stuff they did with Venom in there was really good, even though it was the Ultimate Universe version of Venom. I thought it was still really fun, and I liked playing as the character. But I'm also a fighting game fan too. So Marvel vs. Capcom with Venom was like really awesome to play as well. Is yours? Jessica says Venom is yeah, playing as Venom in Ultimate Spider-Man. That was a good one. Yeah, definitely. That was good stuff. I saw a video a while back of a theory saying that same Spider Connors from 90s animated show could be an antagonist. Because he jumped different realities and stuff. Again, I mean, I don't know. That's a theory, I'm sure, by someone's theory, but I'm curious. But he did die. That's true. He did die in that one. That was the first time. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, but I like that Spider Carnage. We talked about that here on the show, and we will do more animated stuff in season 4 because of the new series that's coming out, the Maximum Venom series. So we're gonna go back and do like a little history of Venom in the cartoons, and I might do a history of Venom in video games as well, so to speak to Swordsman's question there. So you might see some of that coming up, but I got to find footage of some of it, and some of it's hard to get footage of. Thankfully, the Disney Plus app has a lot of the Spider-Man cartoons on there, so I can catch up with some of that, like Spider-Man Unlimited and other things, even though I think I own them all on Amazon, but still it'd be nice to watch them all there too. I'm really confused as to what's happening with Venom 2 filming because loads of people say it's filming in November. Yeah, the November thing was an earlier like that was I stepped away to text you text me your last name. It's Donnelly, Donnelly, Siike Donnelly. Mine is Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2 Venom. Video game Ultimate Venom is awesome as well. Yeah, for sure. The November thing was like that came from Atlanta Filming, I think originally, or at least that's where the first person I saw post it. Atlanta Filming had some information that they might go back to Atlanta to film in November of this year because that's where they filmed obviously parts of the first movie. And he was kind of a source we used, even though he always tells people don't use me as a source. I just take pictures of films that come here and TV shows that come here, and that's all I do. Don't use me as a source. But we did get some good information from him, and he was the reason I created a Twitter account so I could actually see some of his posts, because I think he went private for a while there, and unless he allowed you to follow him, you couldn't see his posts. And I was like, I like this guy. He posts some cool stuff, so and useful information. So I wanted to follow him. So that's why I created a Twitter account, and so I think that's where that started. But I think now they're filming over in London. My dad is official Venom fan. He saw the first Venom movie and he's hooked just like me. Nice. That's awesome, Jessica. We'll tell him or Jessica tell Michael that he's welcome here anytime too. So I think that's where that started, that November thing, and a lot of people latched onto it. But as far as I know, the movie's still in pre-production. And we are going to make that video before the end of the season about what pre-production entails, but it's mostly like table reads, scouting locations, casting, still wrapping up casting, because sometimes they'll do table reads and they have parts that aren't cast yet, and they'll just have like Tom Hardy. They'll be like, hey, you read the part of this character because it's only a couple lines, you know, while we're at the table read because we haven't cast that part yet. Or hey, you read that person. And sometimes they'll get someone to fill in like, hey, you read for this person, and that person will read, and then they'll be like, you know what, that was good enough. We're just going to put you in the movie. That happens sometimes too. Kevin Smith did a bunch of great. If you follow him on YouTube, he's done a bunch of great videos on pre-production for the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. So if you also want to learn more about pre-production, what it entails, check out his channel, because leading up to the movie coming out soon, he actually posted like, oh, we're going to do the scout location. We're going to do a tech, a discussion, you know, so like different heads of different departments that, you know, do stunts and techs and, you know, art department stuff. They'll all come together and they'll have conversations on how to make something possible. So we'll do a video kind of what typically pre-production entails and how generally long it takes and how long the Venom 1 movie took in pre-production. And then that will kind of maybe give us a gauge of how, you know, the second movie will, especially with Andy Serkis now officially cast in the next Batman movie as Alfred. He doesn't watch YouTube unless he needs to be building stuff. Oh, that's cool. Oh, warning for everyone, don't use the official emotes, as YouTube has apparently been. Oh, okay. So yeah, don't do anything that'll, because this there's so many changes going on YouTube. I had to mark my channel not safe for kids, because they were like, if you make content for kids, I'm like, well, I talk about comic book characters, so I guess kids under 13 can watch it, but I would say my discussions aren't geared towards, you know, people younger than 13. I would say most of the stuff we talk about and most of the themes we talk about, like suicide and things like with Eddie Brock and stuff, it's for older kids, I feel. Do you think Sony will release a trailers? Yeah, I'm sure. So like, I guess that we got to start filming it first, right? So Morbius will probably be the next trailers we start seeing in the teaser trailers. And Sony usually releases a movie in January, like, you know, like one of their FU it's January movies, as Red Letter Media likes to call it. And so whatever Sony movie comes out in January, I imagine the Morbius trailer teaser will be attached to that. I have played the Spider-Man PS4 game. All my videos of it are uploaded to my gaming channel. And welcome. Hello there. How are you? Yeah, they're all on my gaming channel. We've played everything except the final DLC I haven't played yet. The third part with Hammerhead and stuff, I haven't played that yet. But we'll get back to that very soon. And I had been hearing a lot of stuff with Venom, like stuff like, I know these are rumors, of course, but like about him, that character being in the next Spider-Man game. So I have a feeling when that game comes out, we're going to just do live streams on this channel, because I'm like, well, if Venom's in it, we should just live stream it here on this main channel. What did you think of the post-credit scene? Yeah, so we can talk about that for a second. I'm intrigued. I'm never against someone else being Venom other than Eddie Brock. I will say Eddie Brock obviously is my favorite Venom, but if they're trying to do something new and they built this story where Harry Osborn has like a disease and he's dying, and his father, you know, found the symbiote and it's able to like somehow heal and slowly bond with Harry, I'm intrigued, to say the least. So I am not against a Harry Osborn Venom villain in the next game, but I'm hoping at some point in the game, maybe the symbiote detaches himself from it, or you know, Peter saves him by bringing him to the church and the bell goes off, and maybe the suit then tries to bond to Peter and he rips it off and it goes down to Eddie Brock. Hopefully, I'm just hoping by the end of the game it ends up on Eddie Brock, is basically my point. In my opinion, Venom is the only Spider-Man character in that went away. That's weird. Only character that can have a successful outing, but Morbius can surprise me. And yeah, Swordsman doesn't like Harry being Venom. A couple other people don't either. I'm not against it until I see it in action. Then I'll, you know, judge a little bit more. Like, you know, I'm not 100% on the idea, but I'm intrigued by it too, because the way they're using it. So we'll see how the game handles it. But I may end up not liking it. We'll see. You find the small Eddie Brock Easter egg in Spider-Man P4? I did. Yes, I did. Panhead, I sure did. Yeah, and I think we talked about it in one of the episodes. I meant as a solo outing. Oh yeah. So Morbius, I recorded some videos today. Well, here, let me wrap up this news story real quick. So you guys probably saw this image of Tom Hardy tweeted. It's like Venom and Carnage Mardi Gras masks. That was another piece of news that I wanted to cover, because I didn't make an episode on it. So, but yeah, I thought that was neat. And of course, all these websites are jumping all over it. They're like, confirmed Carnage versus Venom. It's like, we knew that was like, didn't you see the first movie? We knew that was going to happen. But yeah, websites they're funny like that. They need those clicks. So we got Marvel Action Spider-Man number 10. I did record a review of 11 today. That did come out today. And I combined it. It's a double review, because I did a review for Double Trouble also. This is Spider-Man Venom Double Trouble. I have 2 covers. So when that episode goes up, it gives out 2 digital codes. So you guys have 2 chances to win. That episode will probably go up tomorrow morning. I'm going to edit it tonight. But it's a double review of Marvel Action 11 and Spider-Man Double Trouble #1. So those are some things I reviewed today and recorded for you guys, and those will go up tomorrow. I also recorded an Into the Venomverse episode, so episode number 13 of Into the Venomverse, and I reviewed the new Spider-Verse comic that came out starring Miles Morales. And I give out the digital code for that. And I also, speaking of Morbius, I review the new Morbius #1. So that I was like, oh, that's cool that these 2 books exist, because it'll help me have content for the Venomverse show. So you'll see those reviews. That's another double review that'll probably go up on Friday. I'll probably post that Friday morning. And also on Friday morning, I'll probably post my reviews for this, which is on the Highway to Hell show that I do. We'll talk about Ghost Rider #2. So I reviewed those. And then I'm going to start doing more live content on here, especially comic book discussions. So I'm going to do some DC stuff. So I was, you know me, I created like a Batman DC channel. Well, with the new rules by YouTube, it looks like if the channel's like kind of inactive and YouTube doesn't see the point of it, has the Venom symbiote ever been used by Miles? No. I think in the Ultimate Universe, it started to merge with him and he separated. Do you think Tom Holland's Spider-Man will appear or even a reference to him in Venom 2, even post-credits? Yes. I'm sure Tom Holland will make a post-credit scene, but I'm just guessing. I don't know for sure, but I would say that's the smart business move to do, to start linking these universes. I also think, and I would say it's a smart move too, is that while they start filming Venom, they might film in their first week of filming, they might film a post-credit scene for Morbius and with Venom in it. And so I that would also be a smart move, because Morbius, you're going to want people to want to go see that movie, and you don't want to just take a chance at the name alone will bring people, because people might not know. So the more they connect it to the Venom universe and make it obvious in trailers, the more people will see it. You think Maximum Carnage will be the Avengers event for the Sony movies? I would like that, but I don't know. I would like that, but I would say, despite what you think of the Marvel movies, Kevin Feige is really good at planning things and working with people to make that happen. And I don't know if anyone over at Sony, not to diss on them a little bit, but I don't have a lot of faith in some of the people that work there. I would say I might have underestimated some of the behind the scenes people at Sony, because if you watch Spider-Verse with the commentary on, which I did recently, again, and Chris Miller and Phil Lord, they both really sang Amy Pascal's praise, and they really sang Tom Rothman's praise, and they actually credited Tom Rothman and Amy Pascal for certain ideas that were in the movie that I really liked. And so I would say, maybe I underestimated their abilities as producers to add and contribute something positive, because we only hear about the negative things they've contributed in movies that they've worked on. But of course, everybody has good days and bad days, and I never thought about them contributing positively. So when I watched that commentary, I was like, huh, interesting. And they gave full credit to like Tom Rothman on a couple ideas and Amy Pascal on a couple ideas. And I was like, wow, that's great. And the fact that that movie didn't make a ton of money, it did win an Academy Award, but it didn't make a ton of money. And so for Amy Pascal and Tom Rothman and all of them to come back and say, let's make a second one because we believe in it, and because it changed the landscape of animation with the style we did, that shows that they care a little bit more about the project than just the money. And I think they also look at it like, oh, maybe this movie finally found its audience when it went to DVD and digital, and after it won an Academy Award, so maybe we can bank on that for the sequel. So I don't know, we'll see. But it did make me look at some of these people behind the scenes in a different light, which is always a good thing, So, but I might do more live content with DC. Like I was thinking about bringing the DC shows that I had planned for the Batman channel and making them live shows here. I hope Morbius surprises people and draws a lot of people on the fence about more. Oh, yeah, I hope so too. Football says, although I think it will. Oh, it went away. So yeah, comments, they pop up for like 5 seconds and then they dissolve. So I'll read it when the next comment comes in. So yeah, so I may take care of the Tales of the Dark Universe, the Dark Multiverse. I have Batman Nightfall, The Death of Superman, and Blackest Night, which came out today. I was thinking about doing a live episode where we discuss all 3 of these coming up. So we might do live content for DC stuff, and that way I can separate my DC and my Marvel stuff and all my Marvel stuff will be pre-filmed videos, and all my DC stuff will be live videos. And we'll probably do like 1 or 2 DC things every month. So that way I can grab a couple books and we can do like a long 1-hour discussion. But Venom Vlog Live we'll do, most likely all the time. Would love to see Tom Hardy's adaptation of Venom and Eddie in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Whoa, what's up? Live Siike, how's it going? That's me. How's it going, Eddie's Mullet? Something I liked about Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage is that Carnage is everything Spider-Man hates, and Venom is like the middleman. And I approve of more live Siike. All right, cool. We'll definitely do more live. And Venom and Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah, that could work, considering maybe we could learn about Clintar that way, right? And they could go to the Clintar home planet and stuff. So for sure. What's up, Joe After Work? Thanks for being here, man. And thank you all for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. 10 people watching. Thank you. That would be fun as long as they're not just part of the back. Yeah, that's true. But as they tie it into the story, that would be great. Oh, thanks for the hearts, Joe. Good to see you. And Joe After Work is a friend of mine who's also a live streamer. Live streams a lot of Nintendo content. So if you're a big fan of Nintendo stuff, definitely follow Joe and watch his channel and subscribe to him. He's a really awesome dude. Andrew Kai, what's up, dude? Yes, Tales from the Dark Multiverse are great. I've been liking them. They're pretty good. I got to be honest. They're actually not bad. Bring back the Xenophage. All right. Yes, we got to bring that character back. I hope Venom 2 will still release in 2020. That's a good question. I think that's the big thing. So earlier you mentioned the November filming start date. So yeah, like I said, as far as I know, the movie's in pre-production right now. No plans of filming. And the holidays, typically Hollywood in a lot of ways shuts down during holidays. But if a movie's in production, they still keep going. They just give people time off for the holidays if they want it. But I would imagine that it makes more sense for them to just start filming in January, like mid-January. And I imagine that's what they're going to go with. That way they can have a couple extra weeks to work out this schedule for filming. And then also they want to work out Andy Serkis's schedule, because he's going to probably have to start filming the Batman movie. And luckily he's playing Alfred, so it could be a small role where they might only need him for like a week or 2. So that's good. But the fact that he has to go do that and, do this movie, it's, so they got to work out a really good schedule. And then same with Tom. Tom has other projects too, which, by the way, if you haven't seen the trailer for Tom Hardy's, I think he's producing it and he might play a small role in it, but he's doing like the story of Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge. That trailer came out. Andy Serkis is in that one too. And I think that's where they met, and probably how Tom got him into, on the short list of directors for Venom 2, I think is because they worked together on that Ebenezer Scrooge movie, which is starring Guy Pearce, who I'm a huge fan of. So yeah, that'll be awesome. I can't wait for that. I love the story of Ebenezer Scrooge. So being retold in a dark way on BBC with Tom Hardy, I'm down for that. I wonder how the Xenophage now fits in, considering Donnie's retcons. I don't even keep up with his retcons anymore. I get so frustrated. Absolute Carnage has taken such a dive. Like, the tie-ins are still kind of fun, but the main book, I feel like each issue's gotten worse. Like, the first issue, I was really like, wow, he sold me. He turned me around. I'm interested in this event. And then issue 2, I was like, where is he going with this? He's starting to lose me. Issue 3, I was like, okay, there's like 2 scenes in issue 3 that I liked. And issue 4, I just thought was a cluster of waste. It's just a waste of paper. That's how much I didn't like issue 4. I was like, wow, you're going to pump up this Venom Hulk versus Carnage, and they fight for like 2 pages. Then you get a chance to have the Avengers fight Carnage later, and that lasts about a page and a half. It's like, I don't know. It's like, normally, because someone told me, oh, they made the book 4 issues to 5 issues, so we needed to do filler. And I'm like, well, you could do better filler than that. Random question, but what type of fighter would you say an experienced Venom would be? My brain is weird. What kind of fighter? He's a brawler, I feel like. I don't know if... I know Tom Hardy does a lot of jiu-jitsu training and other things and stretches when he plays the character, just to stay limber and stuff, because especially the way he acted in that movie, he's like jumping all over the place. Andy Serkis for Doppelganger? Of course. I mean, that's a given. You got to do it. What's up, Tavia? How's it going? Welcome. The Weapon Plus book was... I missed that last part. Did you say unsurprisingly awesome? I missed that last part. I'll see it when it pops back up. But hey, Tavia, another good YouTuber there, does great reviews. Surprisingly awesome. Yeah, the Weapon Plus book wasn't bad. It was my least favorite book out of the 3 I reviewed in the last episode, but I still didn't hate it. I saw some like Gem Mint and a couple other people like trash on the book, but I was like, yeah, I found a little value in it. I am, whatever. Everybody has different tastes though, so that's fine with me. But I'm glad you liked it too. Any opinion on Tales from the Dark Multiverse? Yeah, so I'm going to do another live episode. I'm going to save those for the DC show, but I'm going to do a live show called Beyond the Source Wall. We're going to bring that back, but as a live show, and I will talk about the Dark Multiverse, all 3 issues that are out so far. And then I'm also going to do another live show called Beyond the Bat, and that'll be all my Batman content. So those will be 2 live shows. I'll do probably 1 or 2 of each of those a month starting in December. So those will be coming up on the channel in December. Because in December, I figured I'm not going to do a lot of Venom vlog, so I might pump up some other shows for a while. I loved Malice is using the eye drops. Oh, that was neat. Yeah, that whole thing where he's putting the symbiotes in his eyes, like that was really cool. It's scary how quick time flies, because I feel like it wasn't long ago when Venom 1 started filming in October 2017. That's 2 years. That's when I started this part of my channel, was 2 years ago. Event Leviathan, dear God, this event's, it has Bendis's name on it, so I don't even read books by Bendis anymore. I've learned fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, so I don't read his books anymore. But the Venom thing, yeah, 2 years ago on November, I think it was like the first week in November, we started this show. I think it was November 2nd. We started this show because I was wondering what to do. I got to, at Lego, I've been working at Lego for 4 years now, and I used to want to do Lego content. And my original Seek and Destroy show, I was canceling it so that I can do Lego content. But then they were like, they changed their policies, and they're like, you can't really do Lego content anymore. And yeah, Bendis, yeah, he's a dirty word now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't have faith in that guy's stuff anymore. He's very lazy, and he has interns like sometimes do his work for him. He's very lazy. That's how he does like 7 books a month, because he'll just kind of phone it in, and then sometimes have interns like punch it up. He's terrible. Yeah, I can't get behind it. Can't get behind that guy. I can't support him anymore. But the reason I dislike him so much is because I know he's a good writer. He's a really good writer. I've seen it. He's done some really great stuff, but he just phones it in now. So I lost faith in him. Been subscribed since your reaction to the Venom teaser trailer. Oh, thanks, football. I appreciate that. Yeah. So yeah, 2 years ago is when we started. We did the video where I did a reaction to Tom Hardy training for the role. And it even inspired me to want to train more myself and get a little bit more in shape. And I started doing that for a while and eating better. But now I can't really use the kitchen I have. Things are falling apart in this apartment. I'm trying to get a new place. So yeah, I can't really cook here. So I can't eat healthier right now. And who would be my Venom writer in terms of comics? I'll answer that in 1 second. So yeah, and then the working out, I hurt my back and then that screwed me up. So now I do stretches still 3 times a week, but it's just to keep my back in check. So my back is going to hurt for the rest of my life. And apparently my chest is going to hurt for a long time too, because my lung got really damaged when I had pneumonia. It got really infected. So, and they don't know how, but it looked really bad when they showed me the x-rays. So, do you think Donnie will get rid of the Venom symbiote, considering, Absolute Carnage 4's cliffhanger? Also, I miss when YouTube was YouTube. Yeah, I mean, YouTube can change all at once. I'll talk about YouTube here in a minute. And I've been subscribed for that long, I forgot Venom vlog you were. That's okay. But let me answer football's original question. My favorite writers for Venom, I really liked the Last Will and Testament thing with what was that called? Swordsman. And I'm going to miss some of these comments. You guys are going by really fast. I'm so sorry. Claw Fox, how's it going? And Tavia, which is sad because I love the Superman stuff. Yeah, I'm not really talking DC here, so we're going to try to keep it. This is the Venom vlog live, so I'm trying to keep it mostly towards the Venom stuff if possible. But I'll do a live stream next week for the Tales of Dark multiverse, and I'll look for you there. We can definitely discuss that stuff there. And I know you've been making videos on that stuff too, so you guys, if you want to see Tavia's thoughts, go check out Tavia's stuff. As well. And Claw, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I got in a car wreck a year ago. It took me months to get back to normal. PT was vital. Keep up the stretches. Hey, thank you for the feedback on that. Yeah, no, I mean, I went through physical therapy there too for about 2.5 months, and they were like, okay, you're good, but you're gonna have to do stretches forever, especially with you getting older and stuff. So yeah, thank you for that. And yes, I need the encouragement sometimes, because there was 1 week where I stretched 1 day and I felt it. And so ever since then, I'm never again. I had to sleep with the heating pad on for 4 days. So now I go back, I do my stretches 3 days a week at least, sometimes 4 if I can squeeze a 4th one in. And that seems to be pretty good. I was even so good that I wore a back brace and I was able to do truck at work for the first time in 7 months. And I did well. We actually I didn't hurt anything or pull anything. So yeah, it's been good. So thank you. But yeah, I liked that Swordsman could probably help me find the writer of speaking of Venom, did you read Venomize when that came out? Because I didn't, and dear God, it was mediocre. Yeah, it was mediocre. We had fun reading it, but it was kind of middle of the road story. But I like Cullen Bunn stuff. He kind of has fun. What did you want me to clarify? The writer who did the 2-issue Spider-Man Back in Black, where Venom, Eddie Brock tried to kill Aunt May, and then he cut his wrists at the end. Was that called? That wasn't called The Last Will and Testament, but was like the Last Temptation of Eddie Brock. Was that what it was called? That one was really good. That writer, I think he was the writer who he also created the Riverdale TV show, I think. And he wrote the Stand comic books, the Stephen King adaptation. I think that was the same writer. But anyway, I like him. He did a pretty good job with Eddie Brock at his lowest. Obviously, I like Lethal Protector. I like David Michelini on Venom. Last Temptation of Eddie Brock, that's what it was. I like David Michelini's voice on Eddie Brock and Venom. I think he does a good job playing the anti-hero card. I mean, he did a good job setting him up as a villain at first, but then bringing in Carnage and then making Eddie Brock kind of the anti-hero. I think he did that really well and organically, considering that wasn't his original plan. Originally, he wanted Venom to die in issue 400 and have the symbiote jump around the Marvel Universe for like 100 issues and have Spider-Man fight like Venom Iron Man and Venom Wolverine and stuff. And that was like his original plan. But then Venom just got so popular so fast that he created Carnage to have a villain, so that way Venom could then become an anti-hero and then eventually a hero. So I like David Michelini's voice on Venom. Give me a sec. It was The Last Temptation. Yeah, his name is like I just had it and I lost it. But he also, I think he created the show Riverdale as well. He's a good writer. I like his stuff. Yeah, there were some other questions in there. I think I might have forgot. If I missed your question or forgot, let me know. I can't stand Insoft, but he did Eddie really well in New Ways to Die. I did like that. That was cool. And Spider Island, we're going to talk about that next season because we're going to do an anti-Venom week, and we're going to wrap up all the Eddie Brock anti-Venom stories. And then obviously we're going to get into Agent Venom next season, season 4 of the show. So yeah, off topic from Venom, but channel related as it's Ghost Rider. Do you think both Johnny and Danny are right? I'm curious to see what's happening to Johnny. You'll see in my review when I posted on Friday of issue 2, but I am kind of curious what's going on with Johnny. I'm wondering if what he's seeing is real, or if he's being corrupted somehow by the power of hell. Oh, speaking of Venom, I'm just wondering, how did you feel about Lee Price now being dead? That's okay. Nobody liked Lee Price anyway. And Roberto Aguiar Sacasa. That's it. Yep, that's his name. I liked his kind of little run on Venom, the 2 issues there. I like David Michelini. And Mike Costa did okay towards the end there. And I like some of Rick Remender's stuff from Agent Venom, because obviously I'm reading a lot of that now, getting ready for next season. So I'm digging that too. I think Rick Remender has a good stuff. And I liked a little bit of Daniel Way's run in the beginning, but it does kind of fall apart in the end. I'm a defender of that run, but I'm not going to say it's a great run either, because it ends pretty badly. No, no one likes Lee Price. That shade, though. I agree. I'm glad Lee Price is not dead. Yeah, I don't care if he lived or died. That doesn't matter to me. As long as we don't get any more stories about him, that's all I care about. Like Danny doesn't understand the role of King of Hell and how malicious Johnny needs to be. I mean, no, that's true. I mean, when I look at this, I look at the show Supernatural, which is one of my favorite shows of all time, and I compared Dan Ketch and Johnny Blaze to the Sam and Dean Winchester, and so sometimes one of the brothers turns bad, or he gets a power that corrupts him eventually, and the other brother has to stop him. And so to me, this is nothing new. This is very familiar territory for me reading that Ghost Rider book. But yeah, no, I feel like they're both right in some ways, and they're both wrong in other ways. And I think that's what's so great about those two characters, is that they're both very gray characters where their morals can sway back and forth. But also I feel like there's something else at work here. Lilith is clearly manipulating things behind the scenes too. So I'm kind of curious to see how that all is going to pay off. You hit it. Can't wait for your vid. I wonder if he's seeing something that isn't real or just influenced by Mephisto. Yeah, because I mean, Mephisto's still a player, even though he's locked up in Las Vegas right now under the guidance of Wong. I'm sure Mephisto still has a plan in effect right now. And same with Lilith, she does too. So I'm curious to see where that goes. And we'll definitely talk more about that. Maybe I'll do a live episode of Highway to Hell one day, and we can nerd out about Ghost Rider stuff. Because yeah, I'm now that I know this works, this is great. I definitely want to do more live content, and we'll probably time it to be like an hour. So we got about 20 minutes left of this live episode. So we'll try to keep it to the hour marker. I agree. Johnny and Danny are like the Winchesters. Definitely. Yeah. Random Poison still running around, and there's been no mention of the original X-Men that should have. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's so much, right? Like there's so much. And as far as Donny Cates go, I think Swordsman asked that question about Donny and his retcons and stuff. It's like, I can't keep up anymore. I mean, his plans like Venom Island, I'm intrigued by the concept, but that's where I find myself with Donny Cates. I find myself really intrigued by his ideas, and I'm always let down by his execution. That's how it's been for 20 issues now, or 19 issues of the main book, is that he has great concepts that I love, but then he executes them very poorly in my eyes. But I know a lot of people out there feel differently, so that's great. But I think for me, 19 issues is long enough. I'm going to pick up issue 20 of Venom because it's going to be like a wrap up to Absolute Carnage. But yeah, oh, you wanted Lee to take the Hellmark. I no more Lee stuff is fine with me. But I mean, I'm also for ideas that lead to new stories. So yeah, you never know. That would have been cool, I guess. But I am glad he's gone. Whatever happened to Carnage's children? I'm still wondering. Like, I'm reading Absolute Carnage, and he turns what's her name, a Shriek, into Demogoblin, but we only see her in the Lethal Protectors book. Donnie's not really doing anything with her in the main book. It's so weird to me because when I think of event books, I always fall back on Blackest Night, and I think that's because at least in the past 10 years, I feel like that's one of the best crossovers. I know I'm going into DC here, but as far as event books, I feel like Jeff, like if you read the tie-ins, they add to the story, but they don't take anything away. They just add to the story. Whereas if you read the main book, you get a full story there. With Absolute Carnage, so far in 4 issues, I don't feel like that. I found like the characters just dip in and out too much. Like it's like, oh, we're setting up Shriek coming back and Doppelganger, but then you have to read the tie-ins to see those characters. And I feel like those characters should be part of the main story because Carnage is always building a surrogate family around them. And if, and anyone writing the character knows to do that with him for the most part. And so I feel like Donnie's like, oh, I'll let the other writers write that and I'll just kind of do this, or it just feels so clustered. And I'm not, he's a mixed bag. I agree. He's hit or miss with me. Sometimes in the same issue. Fair enough, but thank you, God, they're finally gone forever, and we are done with the past time traveling X-Men. Yeah, no, I don't care about that story. I hate that had Bendis's name on it. I lost interest like 1 issue in of that. X-Men's hard because I have whole runs of X-Men, and then I have gaps in my collection. And the Bendis one is probably my largest gap ever in my entire collection. It's definitely the Bendis stuff. I skipped mostly over the entire thing. I think I picked up a few issues here and there just to see if it still sucked as it was going on. And I did. I was like, I hate this. And same, I got to say, Jonathan Hickman's run has detached me as well. I'm all for new things and new approaches to stuff, but the X-Men just come across as sociopathic bullies / pharma bros to me. Like they invent these things that'll help people, but they use it to bargain and with the planet. And I'm just like, yeah, that's not very heroic in my eyes. Speaking of X-Men, I'm just wondering, how do you feel about the Hickman stuff? Well, there you go. I read your thoughts. Yeah, I'm not digging it. I read all of House of X and Powers of X, or Powers of 10, and I really wish I kept saying I'm going to stop. I'm like, I'm going to stop, and then I kept reading. Rick Remender's run of Uncanny X-Force is, what's up, dude? How's it going? Yes, Rick Remender's run on X-Men, Uncanny X-Force is one of the best X-Men related runs in comics in the last 10 years. It's got to be in the top 5. It's so good. Everything with the Apocalypse stuff, the Seed, Archangel malforming and changing into the new stage of Apocalypse. The love story between him and Betsy Braddock. It's like, it was really good. Hickman has overcomplicated X-Men. Yeah, that's the thing, is I feel like I'm all for complex stuff too, especially with X-Men. It should be sci-fi and stuff, but he's just gone too far. I fell off. I was like, I can't anymore. I read the first issues of some of these new books, and I didn't really like any of them. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what? It's fine. I don't have a lot of money anyway, so I was like, that's fine. I just won't buy X-Men for another 5 years. Like, it's not the end of the world. I'm actually thinking of buying that box set that's coming out called Children of the Atom. It comes out around my birthday. Well, it's closer to my anniversary next year, my 10-year anniversary. But it's a box set of all hardcovers, and it basically reprints the first 144 issues of X-Men / Uncanny X-Men and all of their appearances in other characters' books in order, including like Iron Fist 15, which is the first Sabretooth. So it's like all of them reprinted. It's like a $350 on Amazon for the whole box set. So I think I'm going to buy that, and I'll just read that because I'd rather spend my money on stuff I know I'll love as opposed to risking the new stuff, because I just don't like the new stuff at all, unfortunately. I wish there was mainstream Venom solo video games. Well, one day, man, you never know. He's a household name. I did read Grand Design. I did like that one a lot. I would say that's up there in the top 10 of X-Men stuff that came out in the past decade that was really good. Yeah, I like that a lot. I haven't read the recent one. I own it digitally, but I haven't read it yet because I'm still making my way through a lot of stuff. I finally caught up on Nick Spencer's Spider-Man, and I just read Hunted finally, Craven's that big storyline, and now I'm reading the 2099 stuff. So I think, hey Andrew, what's up? Welcome back. You love X-Men, Hickman's X-Men is really awesome, and actually that's fine. Like I'm glad people do like it because it's like I'm an X-Men fan. I want the characters to stick around, but I'm okay with skipping runs on them big time. But how do I feel about X-Men Red? I love the series. It's really awesome. I don't think I read, that's the one with Jean Grey. I didn't read that one actually. Do you hate him? I don't hate him. No. No hate here. I love the paper they used in the Grand Design book. Yeah, that was really good. Everything from that book was great. But everything was it was specific, right? By the way, sorry for coming in here just talking. You can ignore me. No, I'm not ignoring. I'll try to catch it. I'm trying to catch every comment if I can. I've been wanting to touch on Spencer's Spidey. It's not bad. By the way, thank you guys for the 11 likes. I appreciate it. 13 people here. Hello, everyone. Achilles, how's it going? Is it Achilles? Thanks for being in here. Yeah, the Spider-Man 2099 stuff. So I think in December, since I'm not going to do any Venom vlogs, I might do little one-off specials, special reviews each week with all the new 2099 stuff. I kind of like the setup so far, and so I'm intrigued. Claw borrowed the collector editions from your local. Oh, cool, awesome. From your library, and you loved it. Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. Yeah, I don't have the printed versions of Grand Design, but I did see them at the comic store, and they look great. And I flipped through them, but I own the digital ones. 12 years from now, Spencer will finally finish his Kindred story. Yeah, that's the only thing. The Kindred thing is taking way too long, and I really hope the reveal is awesome because it's one thing to do a book like Hush where you reveal who it is at the end of 12 issues, but to go like 30 or 40 or 50 issues, like you better really have a good reveal tucked away because otherwise people are going to be like, really? Like they're going to turn on you like they did Tom King with the Batman stuff. So rightfully so too, because I thought that book sucked from issue 1, but apparently everyone else loved it up until the wedding. And there's still people that love it. So, everyone's different. Yeah. So what do we got? It's Norman's wife. Oh, you think so? Could be. I'm so happy for 2099. Personally, I'm hoping, the Kindred storyline is finally finished. I love 2099, flaws and all. I love that series. I love the Venom statue model thing in the background. Wish I had one. This thing here, that sticking out of my wall, that if you haven't seen that video, a kid at Lego gave that to me. That was really nice of him. He had a birthday, and his mom bought this on Amazon for him and hung it up on the wall. And he had a Venom/Black costume Spider-Man birthday, and he came in and we started talking. I told him about the show, and his mom's like, "We got to watch it. It sounds, like we got to watch you on your show." And how many episodes have you done? And I think at this point I had done like 380 or 390, and she was like, "Wow, that's a lot of content in 2 years." I'm like, and some people who know Venom, they're like, "You can make that many episodes on Venom?" And I'm like, "Sure." Like the guy's been around 30 years, like, and we still got like 10 more years of comics to cover with Agent Venom and everything. Like that started 10 years ago or a little less than 10 years ago. So yeah, we got a lot still to cover. And of course we got movie news coming up too. But yeah, he gave it to me. And I had a poster of Spider-Man that went 6 feet long, and it had every version of Spider-Man ever on it, like 2099 and different multiverse Spider-Mans, and it had them all. It was like, I think they did covers. They were covers for comics that were all connected together, like connecting covers. But I had a 6-foot wall scroll of it, and I traded him. I said, because he said he's a big Spider-Man fan of all the different costumes, so I gave him that as a thank you for this. So yeah, no, that was really nice of him. It was super, super cool, especially at work, because when I'm at work, it's like I'm in work mode all the time. But it was cool to nerd out with a kid who is like 10 years old and he loves Venom, which is awesome. You can get those at cons for like $200. Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah, she said she paid like an arm and a leg for it on Amazon from like a third-party seller. But then that poster I had was really rare too. So I was like, "What do you think? You think it's an even trade?" And they traded me, so that was cool. Well, speaking of Venom, I'm just wondering, how do you feel about Venom appearing in that Marvel Spider-Man show? Because I saw it, and the way they adapted Superior Spider-Man was mediocre. I haven't watched those episodes yet. I've been meaning to, but I'll be honest. I went to the panel Episode 400, I went down to D23 just to cover the panel and ask them a question at the panel. And now those writers on the show, they actually follow me on Twitter and Instagram, which is really nice of them. Kevin Burke and Doc Wyatt, and they are trying to put me in touch with their publicist for all the Marvel cartoons, and trying to get me like advanced screenings of the episodes, possibly. I don't know what that entails, but one thing I said, look, I'll watch the episodes when they come out. You don't have to send me early stuff or anything. I would really just love to interview you guys, because as someone who's been doing this show and it's just me talking to the camera, I really try so many times to get other people on this show with me, and I just have no luck. Every time I set up an interview, it falls apart, or I follow up with them and it doesn't happen. And so I'm just like, look, if you guys can just get me interviews, that's all I care about, because I do want to just not be the only person on this show talking about stuff. So hopefully that'll happen. But it's really good. And Ben Reilly, I missed your original comment. You can feel free to repeat it if you want, but I missed the Ben Reilly thing. If you want to hear some Ben Reilly stuff, though, you should watch my 1 hour long episode from yesterday where I talked about Spider-Man Life Story by Chip Zdarsky. What a great book. What an amazing. If you're a Spider-Man fan, really great book. And I talk about Ben Reilly in that one quite a bit, actually, because he's a part of the story. It's an alternate universe Spider-Man where he actually ages from 1962 to 2019. So the book starts with him as like an early 20-year-old going to college, 4 years after he became Spider-Man, and then it ends with him as like pushing 70 years old. So it's really good. If you haven't read it yet, check it out. Spider-Man Life Story is fantastic. It really was very emotional. If you've watched my video, you saw I got teary-eyed. I mean, it didn't help, obviously, this week, losing my grandma. And then, also I recorded the day Stan Lee, the anniversary of Stan Lee's passing. So, I was already emotional, but then that story really kicked it into high gear. So thanks, Chip Zdarsky, for making me cry on camera. Life Story was great. Have you read Peter David's Ben Reilly run? I loved it up until right after the Slingers arc, when they started doing the crossover with Damnation. That was the last bit that I liked. And then from then to the end, I thought was crap, which is really surprising because I love Peter David. But I feel like a lot of times when he gets on a book, it gets canceled. And I feel like he has plans to go for a long time, and then he never gets to execute those plans. And I just feel like he gets upset about it. Maybe this is just my perspective. I don't know if it's true, but those last few issues were not on the quality level as the earlier issues were. I thought he did a really good job at the beginning of Scarlet Spider, then, and kind of didn't at the end, at least in my opinion. But I like his symbiote Spider-Man stuff. That's really good. I'm glad they're doing a sequel to it coming up soon. And just the ending. That was the only problem I had, was like the last 3 issues I thought were really bad, but everything up until then I thought was really good. So I'm actually surprised. Like, Ben Reilly has a codex in him. Now, granted, I don't know. That's a good question. I actually think I asked. Thank you guys, by the way, for the comments about my grandma. Thank you very much. I think I asked or tweeted to Donnie Cates about Ben Reilly, because Ben Reilly has a codex. He was a Carnage. He was Spider Carnage at one point. And I was kind of curious. I know this Ben Reilly is like a clone of a clone of a clone of a clone of a clone, but I feel like if you clone someone, chances are if they had a codex in them, the codex got cloned. So even though it's maybe like a bad version of a codex, it's still a codex. But I thought even if he doesn't have a codex, it still would be good to address that, right? To talk about it. And I'm also curious, I can't remember if Kane had one either, if he ever bonded with the symbiote or not. I can't remember. I don't think he did, but I know he teamed up with a symbiote before. And Doc Ock, also Superior Spider-Man, he had a Venom costume at one point. He was Superior Venom. And so I was kind of like, where are those characters? Why aren't they in this event book? Donnie Cates never responded, so I have no idea. Yeah, Ben has been murdered so many times, probably doesn't matter, but yeah, it should have been cloned as well. I'm just assuming that. But I thought even if he doesn't have a codex, they should address that in the books. But they didn't. Codex no longer makes sense. Thanks, Siike. Yeah, well, leave it to me to ruin everything. Like all of Donnie Cates' hard work, and then one comment, and he's just like, all right, fine, you're an a-hole. But yeah, no, so I'm like, where's Ben? Why isn't he part of this? Why isn't Doc Ock, Superior Spider-Man, part of this event? Oh, Superior Spider-Man is now gone. Oh, okay. I haven't kept up with that book. I do like Christos Gage. Really nice guy. I've met him numerous times in real life. He's always really nice to me. Always remembers me. There was a time I helped him rescue a dog at one point. It was found out in the street, and I took it home with me, and and the owners of Golden Apple helped me find it a new home. So, oh yeah, Kane was never had a symbiote. Okay. But you begged for it. Yeah, I would have loved to seen Kane with a symbiote. But I do love Spider Carnage a lot. So that's why I was like, oh, please, can Ben show up and be Spider Carnage? I thought Miles was going to turn into Spider Carnage when he got the symbiote, and that's the other thing. The editor, Devin Lewis, I know some people they were like, hey, maybe shouldn't poke at the editors of these books and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I don't even know if whose idea it was on anything, so anything I say could be wrong. But normally it's an editor's job to make sure continuity sticks. And that's where I always go back to like Blackest Night, where Jeff Johns, he didn't want Blackest Night to be an event book. He only wanted it to take place in the pages of Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps. And DC said, look, this is our number one selling book right now next to Batman. You gotta do an event book. And so they kind of forced him to. And so because of that, he actually brought all the writers to like New York, or he flew to LA and worked with all the writers and worked out the beats to some of their stories with them and helped. Like, he's like, hey, this is kind of my event. I'm kind of in charge of it, but I want all these things to really work. So he helped elevate the other writers to a new status. And there was like some of those writers were turning in, like JT Kroll and some of these other writers were turning in killer books, like just killer tie-in issues to Blackest Night. And I don't see Donny Cates doing that with these writers. Case in point, the ending of the Miles Morales miniseries has Miles taking full control over his Carnage symbiote and being like, all right, now I'm going to go fight Carnage. And then in the Absolute Carnage issue that comes out after that, Miles is not in control and he's just back to being a zombie for Carnage. And then Eddie Brock has to like save him. And I'm like, well, what was the point of ending that issue if it wasn't going to have a payoff? And that's why I'm curious. Some of these one shot or these miniseries that have like, we're going to go do this and we're going to go be part of the final battle. It's like, is that really going to happen? Like, did Donny Cates actually talk to any of these other writers? Did the editor, like, how did they not notice that? Like, that's an editor's job to make sure all that stuff works. And so I get it. It's not easy. Making comics not easy. I used to make comics myself. I know how hard it is. I've been an editor myself. I know how hard it is. But, I lost sleep. I worked like 70-hour weeks making sure books came out on time, making sure that things were edited, that artists got notes, artists in other countries that I had to email, printers I had to contact, signings I had to set up. And it was like so much you have to do when you work in comic books. And it's like, so I know how hard the work is for sure. I did it for like 3 years, but still, it's like at the same time, and I had to do more tasks than just an average editor, because I was also like editor in chief, and I also had to do other things for the small company that I was working for Awesome Comics. And so when I look at editors, I'm like, you have like 4 books you edit. God, that sounds so easy. Like, and I know what it entails. It still sounds so easy to me. I'm like, man, I could do 4 books standing on my head if I had no other responsibilities. And of course, you do have little other responsibilities, but so when I see these things happen, I'm just like, what are you guys doing over there? Like, what do you get paid for? And so when I brought that up in a video, someone was like, oh yeah, maybe no, don't attack the editors. I'm like, hey, look, man, I'm just giving my honest opinion. If I'm wrong about something, I'm wrong, and that's fine. You can call me out for it, but I'm just giving my opinion, and I know what some of these jobs entail. And if I don't see that work being put in, I'm going to say something in my videos. Like, I think that's what gives my videos a little bit more of a unique perspective than some other YouTube reviewers, is that I actually have made comics for years and worked at some of these companies and know what the job entails. So sometimes I'm like, yeah, it doesn't make me right. I'm still basing off my opinion, but still, it's like I will look for things that other people don't look for. And by the way, whoever's I think it's Andrew's texting me, dude. If you're still watching, I can't answer right now. I need my phone to to record all this, and I'm behind on comments. So let's start wrapping this up. We got about 5 minutes left. So we saw Eddie ditching Miles in 3 freaking books, and none of them were the same. Bad job editing. Exactly right. Also, someone pointed out, I think it was Eddie or it was one of you guys pointed out that Eddie Brock still had a black eye even after the symbiote like healed him from being electrocuted from the train tracks or whatever. So yeah, like just little continuity things like that. It's like you gotta notice that stuff when you're working on these books. You gotta address it. Why does Eddie Brock still have a black eye here when he's 98% healed from everything else? Like, why is that one patch? And if you ask Ryan Stegman and Donny Cates, you know what they say? Well, because it looks cool. And it's like, well, Okay, well, it's okay. It looks cool to you, fine. You know, him looking all beat up and stuff, but it doesn't work. You know, like if you're really nitpicking and looking for stuff, and I don't know, maybe it's not that I'm a perfectionist. Obviously, things are going to get by. It's okay, Andrew. I can't answer right now, but I'll send it to you. I think my email. I'll text it to you afterwards, because I don't know which email I share publicly or not. So, but I'll send you mine after the video. So yeah, just editing wise, it's like, come on, get on top of this, man, and make this event feel special. Make every book feel like you have to read it. And as someone who's collected all the AC Absolute Carnage tie-ins and main books, I gotta say, like, I don't even know if the main book is essential to read. That's how much I've lost faith in it. I hope the final issue brings it home. I hope Donny Cates really makes me put my foot in my mouth and brings it home. But I don't think no matter what he does in issue 5, I don't think I'm going to like issues 2, 3, and 4. I don't think anything can make those issues better, unfortunately. So yeah, but and then some of the tie-ins I feel like are kind of pointless too. I personally think the main book Venom is the only tie-in that makes sense. Yeah, that's probably the best tie-in book actually. And Donnie writes that one. It's like, man, you're hitting it out of the park with the tie-in Dylan stuff, but not the main book. Like, it's so weird to me. I don't know. He's so inconsistent. But again, that's just my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right, obviously. And other people will say I'm stupid and be like, no, dude, these books are genius, and that's fine. I don't argue with people. It's like, if that's your opinion, that's awesome. As long as you're reading the book and the character gets to live for another 30 years, that's all I care about with Venom. That's it. I feel like all the tie-ins are pointless, but most of them are. Some of them are pretty good. I look at the Black Eyes thing being as a result of the symbiote prioritizing what it's healing. I mean, that could be it. You're right. That could be it, and that's a good enough reason for me to kind of overlook it for sure. Like, because I don't think I even noticed it. I think someone brought that up in my comments. I'm like, wow, I didn't even notice that he still had a black eye. That's how little I was paying attention to the art at that point. Because by the time I got to issue 3 and 4, I was kind of like, the art's great. I love Ryan Stegman, but the story wasn't pulling me in. And when the story pulls me in, I pay attention to every frame of art, like I do on like Doomsday Clock or something like that. Like I pay attention to every little detail and I look for all the Easter eggs. But with Venom, I don't. It's not that good to me. Amazing Spider-Man tie-in was good, but only the Kindred stuff. I'm still confused about Dylan. Yeah, we're gonna find out about Dylan soon, I'm sure. Probably on Venom Island or whatever story comes after Venom Island. But I bet you we'll find out. I'm afraid what they're gonna do is make Dylan they're gonna say like, oh, the symbiote through Eddie had sex with Anne, and they had a kid. So the kid is like a half human, half symbiote hybrid, first of its kind, like a Nephilim or something from heaven. Or yeah, I'm just afraid it's gonna go that route, and I'm like, I hope it doesn't. I hope he's just like, I don't know. I hope he's one thing or the other, but I hope it's not something like that. It really feels like Donnie is trying to demonize the Venom symbiote, considering, no, he is. Like, absolutely. The Venom symbiote is just a horrible being right now. Everything it's done to Eddie. And it's weird because, like, if you tweet at Donnie and say, like, well, what about the years the symbiote wasn't attached to Eddie, and Eddie, like, was anti-Venom, and it purified him, took out all the remaining symbiote and turned it into, like, an anti-Venom symbiote. Or the time before that when he had no symbiote in him, I guess a codex, I guess, as we learn now. But when he cut his wrist, and he was, last temptation of Eddie Brock, he was fully in control of his mind then. And he kept hearing the whisper of the symbiote, but the symbiote wasn't bonded with him. So it's like, I'm thinking about all these times where he didn't have the suit. And I'm like, well, wouldn't have his real memories come back at that point? I don't know. And then because you can't define where memories come from, it's such a vague notion to say that the symbiote altered his, because it's not like a physical thing that it can go in and just massage his brain and make him, remember things differently. Memories don't really work like that. We don't really know where they're like ethereal in some way. We don't really, there's partly programming in your brain of what they are, but not really, because even memories are wrong sometimes. So it's such a, I don't know, it's not a very well thought out concept. Issue 20 is going to fill us in on Dylan. The trade paperback solicits 20 is the last issue of the arc. Issue 20 is also my last issue of Venom I'm going to buy. So I'm glad it's the end of that arc. I'm still wondering if Eddie knows Peter is Spider-Man again, because I'm so hoping that it is the case. He does, because he calls him Pete in one of the Absolute Carnage issues. So, yeah, he does. I never understood how he didn't, because I guess like when Doctor Strange made everyone forget. I guess he made the symbiote forget too, but that's hard to do because the symbiote literally is made up of genetic memories. So you can maybe use that, like, oh, it's genetic memories. It knows how to alter memories because it can pass memories from generation to generation. So maybe it's just passing the wrong ones to Eddie. But it's like, I don't know. There's an argument to be made there that would shut me up, but I'm not going to play devil's advocate and come up with the argument on my own, I guess. But yeah, thank you guys. 15 likes. Thank you very much. And all the people that are here. You aren't interested in Venom Island? No, I'm not interested in any more good concepts and terrible executions. The thing is, money is like, I don't have a ton of it right now, especially with everything that's going on in my personal life and stuff. I just don't. I'm running out of money for comic books, and it's heartbreaking. So I've decided that I can't fund something that I don't like, and so like I'm just not liking what Donny Cates is doing that much. Like, granted, I mean, even if issue 5 Absolute Carnage is somehow amazing, I still think I'm done with issue 20 of Venom. I think that's a good jumping off point, and 20 issues of something and me still not loving it. I don't know why I'm spending the money. And I'm buying all the tie-ins. Like, I'm just going, and the amount of books I had to cancel from my pull list just to keep up with the Absolute Carnage tie-ins, it upsets me because I'm like, man, I could have really been reading other stuff that I know I would like. So now that we're winding down, I was able to go back and pick up a couple of the Grant Morrison Green Lantern issues that I missed, a couple of the Transformer issues that I missed, the new Doctor Doom book. I wanted to give that a try because I love that character. And also I want to pick up the 2099 stuff. And in order to do all that, that means I can't really buy Venom anymore, and I can't buy the Ravencroft tie-ins. I can't buy the Scream series. I gotta have to give it all up for now. And that's fine, because what I'll do is when they come out in trade and they go on sale on Comixology digitally, I'll buy them then. And then that way I'll feel better about discussing them, because I haven't really had fun doing some of the reviews either. I'm not really a reviewer. I mean, I know I've done that before in the past, but I don't consider myself a reviewer, especially with this show. My focus on the show was always to dive deep into the characters and do discussions and figure out why they do the things they do under the pen of different writers and artists. And I can't really do that with a new book that comes out, because I feel like I'm just giving away the book for free in a way. And I don't feel like that's, even if I don't like the book, I don't want to dishonor in a way or piss off the people that work hard on them, So I think that's what I'm going to do next season is we'll focus on Agent Venom stuff, and then the Eddie Brock and Carnage stories that we haven't covered yet. We'll focus on movie news, because that was the original point of this channel and this show, was to talk just about Venom movie news. So we'll focus more on that. We'll do reviews of the new cartoon series. So that'll probably be the extent of my reviews. And then also anything like all these Ravencroft and all the Venom Island, when they come out in trade, we'll discuss them then, because then I'll feel better about doing deep dives into the stories at that point. So yeah, monthly comics though for Venom, done at issue 20 for Venom. That'll be my last issue. So hopefully I explained enough why I'm doing that. Plus, we're gonna have so much content with movie news coming up. It's like, I promise you guys won't even miss my reviews of Venom by Donny Cates, because then I can stay positive. Like I feel like his books get me to be a little bit more negative than I want to be, but I also always want to be honest with you guys. So it's like it's a weird double-edged sword. So I think I'm just going to give up on them until they come out in trade, and then I'll buy them on sale when they go to Comixology. Then that way I don't feel like if I don't like a book, I'll be like, well, I only spent $3.99 on the digital copy for the whole trade, which is what I've been doing with, Immortal Hulk and Spider-Man by Nick Spencer. I bought them all digitally when they went on sale for like $2.99 and $3.99 per trade paperback, and that's great. So if I can catch a deal like that, all I want is the story. I don't care about collecting anymore. I just want the story. So yeah, Venom 20, last issue. But we are going to wrap this up. We've gone past the hour marker now. So I really appreciate you guys being here. If you have any last questions, go ahead and put them in the chat right now. Before we say goodbye, I'll try to answer one more question from each of you guys if you have them. And we'll do this more often. I'll probably do this again, since I know it worked. And it was so easy to do. It's literally like through my phone, because I need like different software and stuff for my computer to do a live stream. But for my phone, it's literally just one button. It's like name the show and go. Immortal Hulk is pretty good. Positivity is the key. I just like being more positive. I'm certainly going to be constructive always, but I don't know. It's like I've gone down the negative spiral, and I see other YouTubers do it, And when I did that stuff before on older shows, when I was just like negative and I felt good about being negative about it, I just didn't like the kind of person it turned me into. And it made me a real pile of shit on social media, because I would take that energy and then go to social media and be a real jerk to people. And it's, people deserve better than that. Just because I don't like something that they worked hard on, I shouldn't. That's not the route to go. And so that was years ago. That was like 3-4 years ago. But I always try to evolve. Like, that's my big thing. If you ever read my book Elan Vital, which, by the way, I am going to do a live series coming up where I go through the books I've written. What was the most emotional? Like sad, mad, etc. you felt when reading Venom comics? I cried when I read The Last Temptation of Eddie Brock, because I too at one point in my life tried to take my own life. If you ever seen the movie Upgrade, it was very similar to Upgrade. In Upgrade, there was a scene where he's in a wheelchair and he asks a machine to inject him with medicine, and he tells it to keep injecting him. And he basically just like, and the machine's like, I can't, this is lethal. There was a time in my life where I just started taking the medicine that I had, just kept taking it until I tried to finish the bottle. And yeah, it was a dark time in my life. Hey, wow, Andrew, thank you. Looks like you have this. I want to help you in your studio quality one day, because this live stream was great. Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for the super. Holy crap. Thanks for the $5, man. I appreciate it. That's the first dollar I've made on YouTube. That is, because I think we're close to crossing our first $100, I think. And I think that's what YouTube waits for before they send you your first check. We made money on Twitch before, but I've never actually made any money here on YouTube. So that was my first $5, man. So thank you so much. I appreciate it, Andrew. So yeah, because of that, that's what ultimately pulled me back into wanting to do a show about the character. Because yeah, he is an MVP, right? Thank you, Jessica. Was because I saw a lot of similarities between Eddie and I. When life got tough, I too tried to take my own life, and that's what connected me to Eddie overall. So and like I said, in if you've seen Upgrade, like I watched Upgrade, I cried in the theater. Like I full on cried, because I was like, holy crap, I did almost, I mean, I didn't have a machine injecting me with liquid medicine, but I was in a wheelchair and I tried to kill myself. And then a couple years ago, before I started my YouTube channel, originally, I also tried to take my own life. So twice. So that's why at the end, on all my videos, if you look in the description box, there is links to people looking for help who are suicidal, who have those thoughts. That's why there are links in all my videos, because not just because I think it's an important thing for a character like Eddie Brock, but also because it's important to me to make sure other people out there don't get to the point that I got. And I think the more I'm negative, it spirals, it leads to things like that. So that's why I try to stay positive now. It's not to try to bullshit my way and act like there's no tough times in life. Life always kicks you, whether you're down or not. When you're down, it kicks you harder. I am definitely the walking embodiment of a real life Peter Parker with the amount of bad luck I've had over the years. But I also look at all the good. This show has connected me to a lot of you guys. It's introduced me to a lot of you. And I would call us friends. I know some people would think that's a weird concept, but as a recluse and agoraphobic, I only leave to go to work, and then that's all my energy. And then I come home and I'm like huddled up, and I'm like, it takes a lot out of me to be interactive with people in the real world. And I do it because I need to make a living. And but I make friends through the internet. And so I think if you're a Venom fan, you're my friend automatically. Like that automatically puts you in my best friend category. And I'm sorry to hear anyone that can relate. Tavia says, I understand your pain. I hate that anyone feels like that. And that's why I try to, be available to people who are hurting like that. And as someone who's been to the bottom and under the bottom, I know on some level what you're going through. Not exactly, of course. I can never be in your shoes, but I'm always around to talk if something that bad is happening. And that's and I know there are other people out there that watch this show that connect to me on that level too. So together we're stronger, right? Together we are Venom. So I don't feel bad for me. I'm doing well. I have a roof over my head, and I was able to eat today, and my dog was able to eat today. And I always make sure he comes first. There was times where I bought him food and I didn't eat for like 2 or 3 days. Sometimes I have to make those decisions, and that's why I got to be better with comic books. And that's why it's an easy decision for me to be like, you know what? I'm not liking Venom. I should just cancel it, because I could use that money for other things for sure, and review books that I actually do like. So, or at least try new books and see if I like them. So that's what I'm going to do with the $20.99 stuff coming up. So thank you guys for being here. Thanks for always for supporting the show. Yeah, it's a real privilege to be your friend. Hey, it's nice. And I know Swordsman, I really like talking to you. Hey, Siike, how's it going? Siike Shadow. That's okay. You came in late, but this will be up in a little bit. It'll render and it'll be up like in an hour or two. But like Swordsman, he and I don't always agree on stuff, but I like that. It's like I see so many people on YouTube that just like pick a side and go full force, and I can't be that kind of person anymore. Like I was, and I was miserable. I was a miserable human being. I hated myself, and I know why, and it was because I didn't let people in. So I've decided to change, and I decided to be more middle of the road when it comes to stuff. And some people will call me a fence rider, and I don't think that's true. I'll make decisions on stuff for sure, but I also try to play devil's advocate, and I try to at least put myself in someone else's shoes as closely as I can. And if I can't, I ask them to explain their actions or their words, and I try to find a middle ground. And that's the thing. And plus, it's just comics. Like it's like I love comics. For those who don't know, like the reason I'm so obsessed with comics too, and Spider-Man and Venom. After my aneurysm rupture, when I woke up, I had very little memory. Still to this day, I got some back, but very little memories of my real life. But I remembered that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, and that like floored doctors and my mom. Like it upset people too, because they're like, my family, I don't even remember. I'm looking right at them and I'm like, you're a stranger, I have no idea who you are. But I knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Like how that just shows maybe on some level how important comics were to me before my aneurysm rupture. So that's why I get sometimes emotional when I read these characters and these stories, and why I connect with them so much is because you're in no way a fence rider. Oh, thank you very much. No, I certainly have my opinions, don't I? And sometimes I will plant my feet, but I try not to do it aggressively. I do want to hear other people's side stuff, and it's the lowest common denominator. Movies and comics. I see people threatening to kill each other over their opinions of movies and comics, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like it really does. It's just a comic book. As much as I love them, and as much as I remember more about comics than I do my own real life, I still will say it's just a comic book. It's fine. You don't like it and I do, it's okay. We can still be friends. You don't like this movie and I do, it's okay. It's not a big deal. You want to thumbs down me? That's fine. It's cool. We can still be friends. You can still watch the channel. Oh, that's nice of you to say. Jessica, the world's better with me in it. I don't know about that. As someone who's tried to escape this world numerous times, that's a really nice thing to hear, though. Thank you very much. I'm sure if my mom watches this later, she's going to cry when I read that comment out if she watches this episode later. Thank you very much for the kind words. And thank you guys for the support. It means a lot to me. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Everyone else, thanks for just chatting with me and talking with me for an hour and 15 minutes here for our first episode of Venom Vlog Live. Siike, I know you're late, but I still love you tremendously. Come back next time for sure. And anyone thinks that, thank you very much. They should send me, see me and Seek's debates. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, we do. Sometimes we do have that. And I like that. And I hope I never upset you. Like if I ever say something and you read it wrong or you read it and it comes across harsh, please call me out on it, because that's never my intention. Even when I'm at work and I'm on break and I'm like, I got 2 seconds to respond and I'm like blunt about it, I never mean it aggressively. That's never my intention, is to shut anyone down. Watch out for Siike on Christ on Infinite Earth after show. Yeah, as soon as this show's over, I'll text you, Andrew. Thank you for the invite to that. And yeah, if any of you guys, if you like some of my videos, so like Spider-Verse, when I went to the movie premiere, and some of the other, like Justice League, like thank Andrew. Like Andrew's the guy, he's like my friend when it comes, if I'm able to gather enough energy to go out and be at a red carpet thing, usually Andrew's there with me. And he's a great guy. So make sure you guys follow him too and send him some love. And Venom Vault, thanks for the black hearts. I love that more than anything. Thank you. Imagine if Siike was in a comic as a Venom host. No, but I would be okay with being in a comic being killed by Venom though. I'm all right with that. If he ate my head off, that'd be so cool. I've tried. I had a friend once who offered to put me in a comic book and have Solomon Grundy kill me, and I'm a huge Solomon Grundy fan. So I was like, really? And then I guess they talked to the artist, and then nothing happened. And then I was like, hey, is that offer still available? Because I would love to buy the original page. Is it going to be an upcoming issue? And it never really happened. So I was like, oh man. But yeah, it's been my life stream. I've been drawn in 3 comic books from indie publishers, the stuff I worked on in Awesome, and then like Face Beast, I think, put me in one of their books. So yeah, there's a couple of comics. You'll see me wear a Face Beast shirt sometimes. It's a really great independent comic my friend makes in Florida about a guy who has a beard and gives him superpowers. So yeah, very cool. Okay, good. I'm glad I didn't come across that way. So I appreciate that. Being eaten by Venom is a comic fan's dream. Oh, absolutely, right? Eaten by Venom or like carved up by Carnage, whatever it is, I'll take it. I'll take it. But having my face eaten off by Venom would be really awesome. But anyway, that's all for today. Thank you guys for being here. I will edit my Morbius review and my Marvel Action Spider-Man number 11 review, my Ghost Rider reviews. I'll have all that stuff edited and I'll put them up tomorrow for one of the videos, and then the other two I'll put up on Friday. And then on Sunday, keep an eye out. I'm probably gonna before I go meet up with Andrew, if I can able to go do that on Sunday morning, I'm gonna record a Toxin review. I'm going to review the miniseries Toxin and try to get that up for you guys on Sunday or Monday. So be on the lookout for that. I want to be ditched like Angelo in a comic. See, that'd be a cool death too. Is the symbiote bonding with me and then being like, nah, too weak, and then just dropping me off a building. I'd be okay with that too. That'd be pretty sweet. So anyway, thank you guys very much. I got to figure out how to end this thing. I think I just hit the X button up there. But you guys stay safe, lonely. Thanks for coming in here right at the end. I missed you. Hope you're doing all right. And everyone else, thank you so much for the support. It means more to me than you'll ever know. And we will come back probably next week, and we'll do a second Venom vlog live next week before the end of the month, before the holidays, because that'll be closer to our 2-year anniversary. Because our first video we posted on November 2nd, I think, of 2017, and then I didn't post the second video until the week of Thanksgiving. So on that anniversary, we'll probably do our second Venom vlog live, and then we'll probably go to one a month after that, one in December and then one in January, and so on and so forth. We'll do them closer to the end of the month, and we'll just pick up any news that we missed out on. And then also we'll do some live DC videos next week for Tavia and other DC fans. We'll do them on the Dark Multiverse. I'll do that for you guys next week as well. Thanks so much. See you in the future. Peace.